You are what success looks like. Let's go.
I believe in my heart is that black and brown males can graduate high school at 80, 90, and 100%. I believe that's possible.
For a leader, you have to really have the will and the skill. People might have the will and then they get burnt out because they don't have the skill.
Because it was by the grace of God that I was successful. When you put the right supports in place and you put a culture of love, I promise you the managed to do all things through Christ who strengthens them, right?
Hey, you all, this is Pastor Still. Listen, I'm so excited about my friend's book, Dr. Mark Abraham. Listen, make sure you get your hands on this book. I believe this book is going to be life-changing. We had such an awesome time with him at Kingdom Church. He did an excellent job speaking about the book. And I really believe that education can literally help break the back of that spirit that tries to stop us from learning. So make sure you get your hands on that.
Good morning, 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 good morning. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. I think I said it was Thursday yesterday and nobody corrected me. I don't think nobody said anything. I could be wrong, but I felt like it all day. I was like, man, I thought it was Thursday. I thought it was Thursday. Yesterday, I was, oh man, the days just be going, man. You know, it's going. How you feeling? How you feeling? What's up, cuz? How you doing, girl? Geraldine, how you doing, girl? What up with you? What's up with you? How you feeling? Long time no see. We're going to get going. I'm going to just kind of let some few people come in. Now, help me understand this because I'm a bit confused. And I don't know politics too much, but how is it that Trump, who's facing all these criminal charges, everybody is bowing down to him as the forerunner of the Republican candidate? How is that possible? An individual who's in court seemingly every day for criminal activity is now looking as if they're going to be the forerunner for the Republican Party. Somebody help me understand that. Now you Florida folks will help me understand that a little bit better because y'all love y'all shenanigans down there. But how is that possible? I see Ron DeSantis dropped out. And not to get deep into politics, but I seen Ron DeSantis drop out. I see all these people dropping out. Why would they drop out for a person who is under so much investigation that might not even be able to run? Why would they do that? I don't understand it. I'm confused. I would say, well, let me hold the fort. Let me hold the fort down and then, and see if he's going to even be able to run because of all of the legal issues that he's facing. And if this brother is able to win the president seat again, this man is, I'll be afraid for the position America be in, because you got somebody who then he already had a chip on the shoulder, but you're going to have somebody who really has a chip on their shoulder. You know what I mean? Like really has a chip on the shoulder. Like, hey man, y'all, it'd be like the Tupac of doggone politics, man. 5 shots couldn't kill me. I took it and smiled. He's singing like all his election. I'm looking for revenge. All 4 years long. I'm nervous about that. If somebody gets in with a chip on the shoulder in a position to run the most powerful country in the world with the military that we have. And when he was in office, he was so topsy-turvy with his words, He was so divisive with his words, divisive, like he divided the country. He didn't bring us together. You were kind of on eggshells when he was running the country because you never knew You know, if he was going to declare, he's just like, is he about to declare war on black people? Like, what's going on? You're real close, you know. Something crazy happens, or people run a whole bunch of black people over. He's like, man, everybody's good in that situation. The man who ran them over and the people got killed, they're all good people. He's just like, what? Why are you saying this? You know? This is why I say money talks, but that money cannot buy is health and community. Yeah, it can't. But you know, when we're on this earth, you know, it's like we got to deal with the sins of this world. You know, we got to deal with the sins of this world, and so you know, that's what I'm curious about, and maybe somebody who could break that down for me, could help me understand it. It just doesn't seem logical, because I was thinking DeSantis, the governor of Florida, would have been, you know, like a stronger candidate. But when I seen him drop out, I was like, oh man, everybody's dropping out to let this man run the country. Okay. It's going to be interesting. Make sure y'all get out and vote. I'll say that. The brother scared me. I ain't gonna lie. He scared me, man. But make sure you get out and vote. Make sure you vote, man. Make sure you vote your conscience, man, and not vote what people want you to vote. Somebody said, man, when he was in office, I kept my passport on deck. I walked around with my passport. I might need to take a flight at any minute. I was telling somebody this, man. We in the message, you know. So, but I was telling somebody this, man. You know, and I'm gonna tell you this, Success Family. You know, you got to keep cash on you, man. You know, you got to keep cash and cash, gold, and things to barter with. If anything ever shuts down, if the country ever shuts down, banks shut down, and I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist, you know. But I'm just saying, you have to have liquid on you, right? Because you never know what's going to happen, right? You never know what's going to happen. And you see the folks over there, they are looking to team up to weaken the American dollar. So you have to keep things on you, man. Man, we might not be able to afford to at this moment. You know, have a bunker down in the, you know, with security and everything like that, like we see them boys doing. The president of Facebook created a multi-million-dollar, $100 million bunker down in Hawaii after they had that fire. And somehow they had a fire, and this brother's creating a bunker the same place, I think, or near the same place that the fire was. You know, I just be looking at things differently, man. I seen Rick Ross yesterday talking about, man, I'm gonna have my bunker too. I got a garage in it and canned food and something that can make water. I'm looking like, man, where my bunker at? So I think you have to. The title of the message is "Stay Ready." I think you have to, you know, be liquid. You know what I mean? Because imagine, you know, there was what you don't know is, and I mean, again, I'm not trying to make you afraid, but what you don't know is if the bank shut down, or if we're in a crisis or a war, the banks can freeze everybody's assets and say, hey, we need this money to do X, Y, and Z. We need this money to fight the war, and then now you're stuck without any assets, and then credit cards ain't gonna mean nothing, because if the system shuts down, you have your credit card don't mean anything. So I think you know, every man and woman should be liquid, should have access on them, should have access to cash, gold, silver, things that if the system ever shuts down, you can get into the bartering system where, like, listen, I can got a piece of gold for some chicken. You know what I mean? You know, because I think if that happens, that's where you'll be. Again, I'm not being a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. I'm just looking at what I see, man, and it gets a little dicey. It gets a little dicey what I see. It gets a little nerve wracking. But the Bible says, hey, we're in a time when there's going to be wars and rumors of wars, and you just have to be prepared, and be prepared as much as possible. Where if you don't have any, if you do, so if you get $100 from your paycheck and your bills is, direct deposit, your bills are automatically debit out of your account, and you got, $30 left, take $20 and keep the $20 at home and keep the $10 in the bank for overdraft, so it's in case you get overdraft. But you should have access to cash that you can get immediately. I'm not really a fan of banks. I'm not a fan of loans, but you got to have cash on hand. I don't know if y'all saw that movie that Obama produced, where he was like, where the whole system shut down and they needed cash to barter with the, you know what I mean? And so, when you're looking at this, you're just like, man, why is that? Jay-Z said the other day, it was actually Jay-Z a question. They asked Jay-Z, they said, well, Jay-Z, if people, would you take $500,000 to go to lunch with you or go to dinner with you, or would you tell people to, take the money? He was like, man, tell them people to take the money. He's like, everything I told you, everything I would say to you, I already put it in the music. He said, I got all of my content in the music. Why am I saying that? People, be telling you what they want to tell you in the movies, in the content that they produce, in the stuff that it is like, we might take everything as fictional, but there are some truths that folks are trying to relate to you. That's like they talking in Morse code, and they sending messages. We just got to pick the messages up and be reflective over what's happening. You see things that's happening, man. You better be watching and paying attention. Let's say watch and pray. You better be praying, but you better be looking to see, follow the money. What's the money doing? All these rich people creating bunkers. You better team up with your partner and say, listen, we living next to each other. We gonna put our money together, man. Something happened, man. We sticking in this together. It's kind of like when the crisis hit, and then everybody had bought all these guns and bullets and stuff. You couldn't get nothing, man. You're like, God dang, did I miss it? Them jokers was preparing for a war. And we be missing the boat, man. We be missing it. So, be ready in season, out of season. Oh, Paul told Timmy about preaching. Hey, be ready in season, out of season. You gotta be ready, man. You gotta be prepared. So, I would suggest, like I said, when you get paid, pull some money out of your account, right, so that you can have cash on hand just in case of emergency. I had a buddy of mine, man, who said, hey, man, I purchased gold bars just in case something break out. I got gold bars that I have that I can barter with. I was like, man, I'm about to give me some gold bars. He said, yeah, just get some. It's only like $70,000 a bar. Man, I walked out on the conversation. I said, man, I want to have this conversation. Your money is too long, So again, and that would truly be my advice to anybody, man. Have cash on hand, man, so that you can make moves when you need to make moves. And people don't like cash. People don't. I mean, it's like, for me, sometimes it's like we listen to. I'm sorry, I know this not the normal yelling at you message, but we listen to what people tell us too much, and we just take things at face value. It's like they tell us something, and then we just believe it wholeheartedly. Be critical. And be very critical of what anyone tells you. I'm not trying to tell you to be a skeptic, but kind of be a skeptic. You know, if they're gonna tell you something, think about it. Don't just be inundated with information. Really process the information and understand that there a news story can tell you the truth. They can tell you what happened, but they can tell you what happened based off of the individuals who's the funding source for that news outlet. I've had stories told about me in the news that depending on what their political position was and who was backing them, that's how they slanted the story. Depending on depending on the political party that was backing them or what the agenda was, they could have said the same thing, but they slanted it this way to create a different type of feeling. They didn't just say this is what it is. It was like, this is what it is, and here's what we. And so they slanted it towards a way to make it to my detriment. Even when they were trying to say they're just giving the news, they gave the news with a slant. So what you have to do is be very critical of the information that that you're listening to. Like, scrutinize stuff. Don't take things as face value, man. Somebody tells you something, they said in the news, just because they said in the news don't mean it's the gospel. Listen to it, process the information. Now, these type of conversations, I don't really hear people talking about, especially when I turn on social media. Everything is like entertainment and fluff and everything like that. So I don't know if I get in trouble for having these conversations. These are conversations we typically have in the back room, but it is what it is. It is what it is. At least you can go back and say I said it. You know what I mean? If I get slapped on the wrist, it is what it is. I'm just trying to tell y'all the truth because I love you. Someone said, slap on the wrist by who? Man, you just know that everything you do on social media is always being monitored. It's always being monitored. It's always being, looked at, scrutinized. And so you have some people, man, that only, my thing with certain people, man, who say they speak, but only want to speak what's comfortable or what's in a pocket of making everything safe. They speak in a place where everything is safe at all times. I think you are. Like, there's some brothers I follow, man, who make a lot of money, but they only speak what's safe to speak. They don't say anything controversial. They don't say anything that's cutting edge. They don't say anything that's uncomfortable for the masses to hear, because in their minds, what they're saying is, I want to get paid and I want to make money. And because I want to make money and because I want to get paid, I grew my platform not so that I can be controversial. It's really just so I can get the money at the end of the day. And that's cool. That's what you want to live how you want to live your life. But I just think that you got to answer to God at one point. And when you answer to God, you have to take account for when he gave you a conviction. Much is given, much is required. When he gave you a conviction and you knew it was the right thing to say, but you stayed quiet because you didn't want to lose your endorsement. You didn't want to lose your this. You don't want to. And so you stayed quiet while people suffered. And you knew the answers, but you stayed quiet. That's a travesty for me, man. That is a living on your knees lifestyle. And it could be my youth that's speaking that. It could be my Haitian blood, St. Louis tour and all my forefathers that said, hey, we would not live and be oppressed. That if we had to live in oppression, and we had to live on our knees didn't give us death all the time. It was either death or liberty for the first country, Haiti, to get their liberation, and that's my bloodline, right? And ultimately, we all come from Africa, but that country specifically took a stance. The first country to declare its independence, a black country, and you'll say, well, but that country is so poor. Again, how is it that a country is super poor and has all these issues, but there's a country right next door that you can literally be in the same country at the same time that is seemingly prospering? It's literally the same island, man. The island ain't that big, man. So the one side picked the wrong side because they declared their independence and they said, "Hey, we ain't gonna do this." But the other side is perfectly fine. You got to be thinking something differently. But there's cruise lines that own part of Haiti now, right? That you can go and enjoy the country that is in Haiti, but owned by cruise lines, but the country's so bad. Oh my God. Could it be the narrative that they tell and the narrative that they tell and the narrative they tell to make you afraid of everything that's black? But it's the same narrative that we have in these United States. Same narrative that Dr. Carter G. Woodson said with the miseducation of the Negro. I want everything negative to be associated with black and brown people, but really black, Because if you make everything negative associated with that group, then what Kanye said, they make us love their wealth and hate ourselves, right? And so then you're loving trying to be like the dominant class, and then you hate you, and you hate everything about you, and then as you're hating everything about you, you're missing the God on the inside of you. You're missing the God on the inside of you. You're missing the spirit of your ancestors on the inside of you, because I want you to hate you. But you're missing the beauty of you and who makes you and how wonderful and awesome you are. I never lost loving an Afrocentric perspective. I've never lost that at all. It's not lost upon me for that. I never wanted to assimilate to the point where I lose my flavor as a black man. I never wanted to do that. I always wanted to keep the essence of who I am. And doesn't mean that, I don't appreciate and value the cultures of other people. But I truly, truly love my culture. Like in love with it. The good, the bad, the indifferent. And sometimes I sit in rooms and black people will say stuff like, man, but we just so lazy. And I'm like, we who? Where are you getting this information from? Well, I know. You have not spoken to every black person in the world. But you have been brainwashed. You have been brainwashed to hate everything black. I say that to say what I started off the conversation of being ready, right? Being prepared. Well, being prepared means not that I am walking in fear. I am walking in discernment. I'm listening and I'm critically thinking. And I'm not allowing people to just tell me something and then just take it as face value. You tell me that the sky is red, and then I just say, yeah, the sky is red. When they had the fires in New York City, they had a picture of New York City, and it was like burning red. And that's what CNN put out. The problem was, excuse me, I was in New York City when they put that picture out. The skies wasn't what they were trying to say it was. But if you just looking at it on CNN, you just think like, oh man, this thing is, the whole sky is burning down. Stay in the house. Be afraid. I was literally downtown today. I'm looking at the picture and I'm looking up in the air like, well, maybe they seeing it from a different lens. They put a tint on it. When there were people dying of COVID, I had a politician tell me that her family member died and got sick. And they try to say that, they try to tell you it was COVID. And she had to refute it. She's a powerful person. She had to refute it and argue with them. But why is that significant? Well, the question is, why would they do that? Why would they pad the numbers for people that may not, not saying that COVID wasn't real? I had it, but why would you pad the numbers and say more people had COVID than they actually had? Why would you do that? If you understand a person's why and the rationale for why they're doing it, it gives you clarity. But the fact that you're doing it makes me feel, to create some mistrust on the information that you're providing me. If you read a piece of the Bible and one part was a lie, then basically the whole book will be a lie. Because if I can't trust this, then everything else becomes in question. So if you're giving me news and there's information that's leading to me creating a mistrust on the inside of me, then now I feel uncomfortable with all of the information that you're giving me. So now I have to be very, very, very clear on what you're telling me, and then try to validate what you're saying to me through other sources. If you don't think that the outlets that is providing you information does not have a political backing, then you are fooling yourself. So if that political backing is telling you and presenting news to you, then the information has a little bit of a slant to it. Again, I'm not telling you not to watch news. I'm telling you that whatever news you watch, cross-reference it once they tell you a story. Go find the information yourself. Now, I'm not saying I don't know if I feel like it was man-made. I don't know if I felt like it was man-made, but for whatever reason, they were adding more numbers to the death count. I don't know why they did that. I have ideas why they did it, but I don't know why they did it. And so I'm saying be critical of what you're hearing and what you're watching. And be prepared, man. Be prepared. Try to be as prepared as possible. If there's a system that was created to hurt you, you cannot just blindly trust that same system. And again, when I say the system was created to hurt you, I'm not even talking about, like black, brown. I'm talking about there's a system that is created to keep the wealthy and the poor. I mean, that is a system. Well, in America, man, you can do anything you want. True, I feel you. But there is a system that's in place that says you have to play by these rules, and anything outside of these rules, we're going to attack you. There's a system that's in place. No matter how big you get, Diddy, the moment you go against the powers that be, they pull the rug from you. This man went his whole career talking about take that, doing all type of stuff. But the moment he decided to get into a lawsuit with the Ciroc people and say they were racist and that they were targeting black people, what happened? This brother got body slammed in the news. He had lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit until he had to cave. You try to go buy you a network, Bill Cosby? You think you that dude? lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after cancellation after cancellation. Again, I'm not in these people's bedroom. I don't know what they do. But it just seems peculiar. After 35, 45 years of doing what they're doing, they try to make a play, and then now they get killed in the news. Well, you actually want to actually talk about bringing people's economies together, Dr. King? Bullets, hello. Malcolm X, you want to go against the system? Bullets, hello. John F. Kennedy, you want to actually bullets, hello. Again, there is a system at play, man. And there's people who are getting rich and rich and rich off of this system. Man, so much more I want to say, but I gotta go. I gotta go. But you know, even as you think about the poverty system, think about how many people get rich off of groups of people staying poor. Think about it. How many people get rich off of groups of people staying poor? So then it's advantageous for groups of people to stay poor, because the same groups of people that are poor are creating other people's wealth. All of the systems. You got the prison system. You got the alcohol system. You got the drug system. You got the welfare system. You got the social work system. You have all those systems that are interconnected, that are all working together to keep this one group, these groups. Now, mind you, 15 million white people that are in poverty. There's white grandmothers that are having to go get canned foods of catfish just so that cat food, just so that they can live, because they are in places that they can't afford it, and their retirement, their pension is peanuts, and inflation is going up, and prices are going, everything's going up, and they can't afford to live. And so now they're so it's not just, because when we think of poverty, we just think of black people, brown people. Man, there's 15 million white people in poverty. There's 5 million black people in poverty. There's a lot of people in this country, in the United States, that are impoverished, that are struggling. But there's systems in place to assure those people stay intact. Because if those people get liberated and start to get money and start to be successful, it weakens that system. The education system. There is 87% of black children gonna graduate high school can't read on grade level. 87%. And then these ignoramuses that I have to speak to will say, well, it's because the black parents don't care and black kids don't care about education. What? Man, the babies are showing up every day, trying to be successful, trying to learn. And they come to school and get a high school diploma and do that, and they still can't read when they walk out. How is that possible? How is that happening? Again, you got to ask questions. How is that possible? How is this even allowed in the United States? We talking about a $1 trillion organization, the education system, trillions of dollars that go into that every year, and there's still children walking out, can't read, don't know how to critically think. The big school systems are taking in $3-4 billion a year. And $3-4 billion ain't enough money to teach children how to read. And then we blame the parents. Oh, man. But why is that okay? Why didn't they want black people to read back in slavery time? Reading equates to liberation. If you can learn how to read, you can learn how to change your life. You'll learn how not to put yourself in these peculiar situations just by learning how to read and critically thinking. Because now you get information. The information, pure, changes your life. But if I keep the information locked away from you and you can never read it and never articulate it, never understand it, then you'll stay in the state that you're in. And you'll operate simply pure off of your instincts and never operate. You operate from a primitive mindset and never operate from a place that I can think my way out of a situation. Well, family, that's it. That's it. The title of the message is Be Ready. How you be ready? Read, process information, critically think. Oh yeah, AI is here. You don't have to think no more, man. Do not let that computer think for you. Don't let that computer think for you. Do not let that computer think for you. Man, I heard educators say, man, learning is gonna be obsolete because we got AI now. You just put the information in. Teach your kids to think for themselves and to look at something and ask questions of it because if AI is about scouring the internet and then pulling the information, if the information on the internet is skewed and they're not looking at the right sources, but they give you that source, but you don't know no better because you're just using it and taking it at face value, then you're gonna be misinformed, giving out misinformation. There can be an abundance of information to tell you that this group is bad, but then there can be scholarly research to say this group has been maligned and this group has been discriminated against, and consequently, this is the position that they're in. But you go to AI and AI just gives you this, but then there's an undercurrent that says this, and it doesn't look at this. Then what happens? I gotta go. Say this with me. 2024 is the year of more blessings, more success, more prosperity, more deliverance, more healing. 2024 is my year. I am blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above only and not beneath. Everything my hand touch prospers. Wealth and riches are in my house. I'm a money magnet for the kingdom of God. God loves me. I love my neighbor as myself. My body is healed. My mind is healed. I am what success looks like. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, family, this is Dr. Mark Abraham, #1 success speaker, #1 success speaker in the world. I love you. I'm praying for you. Pray for your boy, man. Pray for your boy. I will see you tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Again, this is a little bit of a different message. I love y'all, man. See you tomorrow morning. Peace.